It's happening again, ladies and gentlemen. Liberals are being cowed and bullied by conservatives, and they're just playing along. It's utterly despicable what's going on at MSNBC. So, brief recap. There was a Melissa Harris Perry segment where they talked about and showed a picture of a Mitt Romney grandson adopted, who apparently is black, African American, and some of the panelists said, which picture doesn't belong here? You know, which one is different? Which doesn't seem like all the others? I think it's a fair question, and I'm sickened by this idea that conservatives can, show pictures of Obama with a bone through his nose. That's supposed to be cute. Rush Limbaugh can call Chelsea Clinton the White House dog. All of that's fine. But the second a liberal wants to make just the teeny tiniest little bit of fun of anyone on the conservative side of the spectrum, well, off with their head and they should be fired. And now Melissa Harris Perry is begging forgiveness, tweeting apologies, I guess in an attempt to save her job, or she'll end up like Martin Bashir, because God knows we can't possibly ever point out the foibles of conservatives and point out the absurdity of their logic. Folks, here's the reality about Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, in his 30s, not a young man, not a child, not a 5-year-old, but in his 30s, publicly endorsed a philosophy and a religion that said black people were not human beings, did not have souls, couldn't go to heaven. Until 1978. He publicly supported that position, said his church was correct. So he is every bit as racist as the worst Klansman when it comes to his specific personal history up to about age, 33 or 35. Then his church said, oh, what do you know? Maybe black people aren't disgusting animals. Maybe we could treat them the way we do white people. And Mitt Romney said, oh, okay, that's good news. Fine. But to somehow suggest that nobody is allowed to point out the irony of a guy who who belonged to an organization that said black people weren't human beings, now adopting having a black grandchild. This idea that no one can point out that this is a little bit interesting, a little odd. Let it be noted that nobody on MSNBC said nasty, awful things about how this grandchild looked and make fun of the way the kid talked. All they're doing is pointing out some of the irony here. Folks, we need more of that, not less of that. Okay, folks, this is truly, utterly disgusting. A&E basically said, can we do what's right, or can we absolutely spit on every modern value that we have, every personal moral we have, and just go for the dollars? Can we do that? Yeah, that's what they did. They said, to heck with this racist, bigot, idiot, Phil Robertson says, he's got fans. And since we can't dig up the Klansman who bombed all the little girls in the church house and give him a show, let's just continue having Phil Robertson have his show and making this guy rich. In case you haven't heard, the latest from Phil Robertson, it's not just that gays are disgusting and filthy and the same as people who like to have sex with barnyard animals, bestiality. Now he's giving advice to people. This was uncovered from a speech from not that long ago, a few years back, advising men, marry 15-year-old girls. Because if you wait till they're 20, they'll be spoiled when they're that old, and they'll just be after your money. So go get a 15-year-old. So here's this guy who's basically advocating rape, statutory rape. That's another one of his great pearls, his gems, his wisdoms that A&E sees fit to be mass promoting to 16 million people. A&E, you are disgusting and contemptible. Well, our good friend Tim Tebow finally gets a job. Here's a guy who was just a total unmitigated disaster as a professional football player, bounced around. Now he's gotten an analyst job at some new SEC network, some obscure sports network. I'm sure he'll have a very nice salary. And it just shows, folks, there's an affirmative action program in this country that is, well, it's coddling and it destroys incentives. It destroys incentives for real work. No, it's not about poor black people in the inner city. It's about people like this. If you happen to be a right-wing extremist Christian and you want to ban all abortions and you want to imprison women for protecting their own body, well, you have essentially tenure. You have a safety cushion. Doesn't matter how talented you are, how untalented you are. Doesn't matter how many times you fail. Conservative America will always rally around you. They'll always find some cushy job for you. So here's a guy whose really only claim to fame is that he is a fundamentalist Christian who thinks that women should be treated worse than dogs, but he doesn't have to go out and get a real job. He can't actually perform on the football field in any way that is of value to the market economy. So now he gets to sit on the sidelines and just BS about it and make a whole lot more money than you or me or a lot of small towns. Yes, folks, affirmative action is unfair and it should be abolished in many cases. A little bit of good news heading into the new year. This did strike me as good news. As you may have heard, Robin Roberts, the popular daytime talk show host on Good Morning America, came out as gay the other day. Michelle Obama congratulated her, said, "I'm so happy for you and Amber." And the reason I like this is part it's a nice sentiment for someone. I don't know Robin Roberts. She seems like a perfectly nice person. But what I like about this is Michelle Obama is also saying to conservative America, to the so-called family values crowd, drop dead. I have contempt for you. You're not going to force me to go against what I want to do. You're not going to force me to pander to your bigotry. I'm going to say what I want to say, and I'm going to congratulate this woman, Robin Roberts. So hats off to Michelle Obama. Congratulations, Robin Roberts. And it shows, even though we can get depressed by some of the day's headlines from time to time, it does show in the long run we liberals are winning these culture wars. Did you see this? Ted Cruz was being interviewed by ABC's Jonathan Karl and saying that Ted Cruz is above politics, and it was a shame, essentially, that the Democrats shut the government down. Jonathan Karl, to his credit, it's like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. He didn't say it quite like that. But yeah, you should take a look at the clip. Go to Mediaite.com. That's where I go because I don't have time to look at every single news broadcast. They do an excellent job of pulling the clips that get the most attention, worthy of attention, and you can see this clip for yourself. But Ted Cruz, he's certainly known to be a bright person. I don't think you get into Princeton and Harvard and graduate Harvard Law Review and have Alan Dershowitz say you're bright without being bright. I have no doubt that he has high IQ and smarts. But when I hear him say things like this, that somehow he's above politics and that the Democrats shut the government down, there's just a part of me that wonders, is he completely delusional? Is he, in fact, sane? is he some sort of psychotic, delusional fool? Now, I don't throw those terms around lightly. I do think that someone can be an honest, principled conservative and come to different conclusions about public policy. But this continual saying white is black and up is down and down is up from folks like Ted Cruz, it genuinely makes me question their sanity. Finally, hats off to the Boy Scouts. They are going to officially be letting gay scouts into their midst come January. This is something I've been pushing for a long time. I've threatened to mail back my own Eagle Scout medals in protest. But thankfully, the Boy Scouts did bend, as I predicted they would a long time ago. And gays are not going to be treated like dirt by the Boy Scouts, at least officially. Also in the news, I found this intriguing. Bill Clinton will be presiding at the Bill de Blasio inauguration. Bill de Blasio is the new mayor of New York City. Has an awful lot of liberals and progressives across the country feeling good. This is the largest city in the country. Some would say it's the most important city in the entire world. Those of us who live here obviously have this inflated view of ourselves. So to have an actual bona fide liberal, an actual bona fide progressive, unapologetically grab the reins of power is something a lot of people are excited about. We shall see. I do find it significant that Bill Clinton is a part of this huge moment where so many liberals are looking out and see nothing but optimism. I do wish Bill de Blasio good luck. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining me this year. There'll be lots more to come in 2014.